Welcome to First Picture House on the left. This is our first video content. My name's
First one.
Connor, joined by Marcel. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to watch this trailer. I've been holding off for this moment.
Yeah, so today we're going to look at the new trailer for Him, the football horror thriller brought to us by Justin Tipping and produced by Monkey Paw, which is, of course, Jordan Peele's production company. Um, Yeah, I mean, I saw it before my screening of Sinners, so I saw it once. Yeah, I guess saw it twice because I had to, set this all up. But yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
I think
mean,
I was late to my center screener, so I must have missed the trailer.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, let's dive in.
All right, let's get into it.
Do you want this? I said, do you want this? If you want to transcend the game, you have to dig deep. Your mind and your body have to be in sync. Talent is how hard you're willing to work. No days off. No sleep. We grind. I'm never good enough. I'm never good enough. That's how great people think. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice? This ain't a fucking game, man. This is everything. Do you want this? What are you willing to sacrifice? You fucking say it! Say it! Say it! Everything! And show me.
All right, so first impressions. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, that looks. I don't know. I feel like my biggest concern with this movie already, not really a concern. It's more of like a excitement. Is like a horror movie that is like a psychological horror movie that is a sports movie. I feel like we don't get a lot of that. Like the
Mhm.
last one that we got, which isn't really a sport. I mean, well, not a sport in its own right, but like ballet, it's more like performative, like dance routines and all that stuff. That was like the closest thing we've got to it, but we don't really get many sports horror movies. So I'm
Yeah,
really curious to know where this goes.
yeah, no, because we're to peek behind the curtains. We're gonna do like a sports movie draft coming up, and I've been like putting together a big board, and they're all like dramas or comedies, and horror is definitely an untapped avenue of like, especially like the psychological. I'm gonna be honest, my first impression is I feel like there's gonna be something with like the occult, either
Yeah,
the occult or it's a cult. Um,
no, I agree. I mean, especially with what we saw there. Because it's funny when you like when you hear about sports, you hear about the steroids, you hear about the
mhm.
drugs, you hear about even like entourages and parties, and but you don't really like associate like NFL players, NBA players with like the occult or like those kind of parties. Usually it's just like
Yeah.
Hollywood actors and stuff, but you rarely hear about athletes.
I mean, sometimes it's like baseball players are like superstitious, so sometimes they'll do like voodoo magic on like their bats or their gloves if they're in a slump. But it's always more of
Yeah.
like a jokey type thing. It's never played seriously. It
And then
kind no,
like
go ahead.
continue.
Well, I was just gonna say this kind of felt like my first vibe is that maybe it kind of felt like a sell your soul to the devil for success type of story that we might be getting. Um, But when like you look at Rotten Tomatoes, their plot summary, which they're not always like 100% right, makes it seem like that there might also be kind of like a body horror element to it of like you have this older football QB with Marlon Wayans mentoring this younger one, Tyreek Withers. Is there going to be something like he's going to try to take over his body to prolong his career? Something like
That's
that.
interesting. Is it said if Marlon Wayans' character is active like in the league, or is he like a coach or something?
I'm not sure. There's not a ton of information out
Okay.
there because like that's just what the Rotten Tomato like summary said, but that could change. And like the Letterboxd
Yeah.
one didn't even mention him. So it
Okay.
could be, or he could just be like a retired, like former QB
Yeah, I'm
who's
really, I
just
know,
like,
I'm really curious what his role is because obviously you can tell he's just like trying to feed this guy, like like there's a saying in football, it's like no, well, sacrifice your body is one, but it's like
mhm,
pride is temporary. No, I'm sorry, pain is temporary, pride is
temporary price
forever. That's
forever.
what
Yeah,
yeah, there's always those like crazy statements that these people make to get into your head. So I wonder if it has to do with like, I mean, it can be so many things, like you said, the occult. It could be like brainwashing.
hmm
Um, Even like that whole concussion scene was super interesting. I feel like if
hmm
this could be a commentary on like concussions and like being susceptible to doing things you maybe just don't want to, and kind of unraveling how we see so
yeah,
many, especially like wide receivers and all these people with CTE where they just do crazy things. I feel like it's going to be some kind of commentary with that, especially if it's like produced by Jordan Peele's company.
for sure. I feel like there's definitely gonna be some deeper message there, and even more surface level on that specific shot of like the head to head collision. I thought
Yeah.
that X-ray shot. I really hope they incorporate that in the
No, that
movie
was
more.
really cool.
That was sick.
Yeah, that was
Um,
like Mortal Kombat fatality level.
exactly. I feel like a lot of times with sports movies, you don't get a lot of you can only be oh so creative because you have to stay within the confines of like you're in a game. The most creative you could probably do is like follow the ball in like a POV shot, but that I feel like was definitely something I haven't seen, at least in any sort of sports
Yeah,
movie.
no, I agree, and I feel like this is going to be cool because we haven't had many football movies other than like what, like the Kurt Warner movie, and I'm a Rams fan, and I still haven't seen that movie. Because I don't know, Kurt
Yeah.
Warner's weird with the Rams, but yeah, like the '80s, '90s, and 2000s, you saw a lot of football movies, and I
Mhm.
don't know, I feel like when it comes to football, we haven't had. If we have, I haven't really. It probably hasn't stood out because you know
There's that
it's
Tubi
much.
one
Yeah.
with the TikTokers that went kind of
Oh,
viral.
I think
That's
I've
not
seen
my
a clip
name.
from it.
Cheer
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
We
this
haven't had
looks
a good
great.
one in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things. What else caught my eye in this?
The little
I like the whole
football
like,
devil.
yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, like the guy who like went to go hit him from the
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
Wonder if he'll be reoccurring.
and I like the training kind of regimen
Mhm.
they have going in this movie, which you don't really see a lot in football movies. So I want, yeah, I just feel like it's it's titled him, so I feel like it's gonna be this whole like training process of like football that you don't see in movies, and I am personally excited for that because I love football, I love watching
Mhm.
football. I played back in the day, so it's gonna be really interesting to see.
Yeah. I think the title is definitely trying to set up like what are you like they kept saying what are you willing to sacrifice, and I feel like we're gonna see a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder what kind of. I mean, there was a steroid shot. Did you see that shot also?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna go full fledged like football nutcase in this.
hmm I mean, they who knows? Maybe they lace the steroids with something too. So maybe
Like,
Marlon Wayans just has like an army of like mind controlled like
yeah, like you
roid
think you're taking
ragers.
like you think you're taking steroids, but in reality, he's like injecting some like mind control like
It's
serum or
like
something.
LSD or something like that. Yeah.
That would be crazy. What else did I see? I saw Julia Fox was in a scene. She
Yeah,
was like in like a stripper scene.
I think she's gonna be a stripper with I don't know if she's in a relationship with Marlon Wayne's character, but I wonder if it's just going to be kind of like a temptress character who kind of
Yeah.
hangs around.
And then I didn't even realize. So I hadn't really been keeping up with the news from this movie. All I remember is just hearing Jordan Peele's name constantly, constantly. So it kind of makes it seem like he's directing the movie if you're like not even aware of like what's going
Mhm.
on. But he's not even directing. I had literally up until like a week ago, I was like, oh, it was like new Jordan Peele movie, and yeah, it's not directed by him; it's produced by him.
No, but I feel like that is such a like a boast of confidence for Justin Tipping, who is directing. Because I mean, Monkey Paw is only besides like Jordan Peele's movies, they've done Monkey Man, the Candyman remake,
Candyman, yeah,
Wendell and Wild. So like he only like it seems like they're backing the movies that they creatively believe in. So I
yeah, and
feel like
the movies you just said are pretty solid. So
yeah. So I feel like it's going to be even if it's not like a as good as like maybe Peele's movies themselves, I do feel like we're not going to walk away from it being like, well, that was a waste of time. I feel like we're going to get a lot out of it.
no, for sure. When does this come out?
I didn't see an official date, but IMDb said sometime in September is
Oh, okay,
likely.
September. Ooh, beginning of the football season. That's pretty
Exactly.
clever. That's
I think they
clever.
timed
Yeah,
that.
that's funny. Okay, nice. Yeah, well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on him?
No, I think my final take on it is that it's giving Black Swan maybe a little bit
Yeah.
like same par level maybe psychologically, but I think thematically, like you said, looks more like culty, like or culty in a sense. Um, so I'm sure that's just gonna play in more. But yeah, I'm excited. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This will definitely be high on the watch list on the high priority for me.
Oh, for sure, same.
Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back with more.